evening, welcome to Leeds for tonight's game between Leeds Rhinos and Sheffield Eagles. Leeds has got just 1 point in 6 games and have an unbeaten run of 10 matches in Super League this season, where Sheffield, backing up from their defeat by Gateshead 72 hours ago, have picked up just 2 points in their last 6. But Leeds never normally have it easy when Sheffield come to visit Headingley. And Steve Kilgallen, your match commentator tonight, alongside me, is Phil Capper. It looks as though it's going to be a hot night tonight. It's a very sultry, sticky night. Leeds have got the added incentive of Graham Murray's trip home on compassionate leave, and they've got Barry McDermott playing tonight on the back of signing a new 3-year contract, which is not only a huge boost for the player, it settles his mind, but gives the whole team a big lift. And I think that tonight Leeds will look to start very, very strong early on and try and run Sheffield round as they play their 3rd game inside 6 days. Leeds team news. Adrian Morley starts the game, but they've got Marcus Santaler, Anthony Farrell and Leroy Yvette back in the starting lineup, but all outside, with Brad Godden back after 5 weeks, Ryan Sheridan back in, and Darren Freely returning, so it's 3 out, 3 in. In Sheffield's team news, Dale Powell is suspected broken arm and misses out, as does Jeff Hardy with a groin injury, and Rocky Turner with a dead leg. Just had a false kick-off. Referee Stuart Cummings not happy with the start. It'll be Sheffield to kick off now with Martin Pearson. They're playing from left to right in the red shirt. And Leeds will receive. It's Mark Randall for the first hit-up. It's tackled well by 3 men inside his own 10. Morley now, back in the starting lineup, looking for a big game. South stand behind him already. Leeds line up with Harris at fullback, Sterling, Golden, Godden, Cummings, Powell, Sheridan. In the front row, Frears, Newton, McDermott. In the back row, Morley, Hay and Granville. On the bench, Matthews, Jackson, Sinfield and Pratt. The Eagles have Thomas to do at fullback, and across the back it's Stokey, Cardoza, Senior, Lovell, and the halfback Pearson and Stevens. In the front row, Malloy, Wallace and Lawton. In the back row, Jackson, Shaw and Doyle. On the bench, Crowther, Wright, Baldwin and Foreman. Leeds have just won the first penalty there for holding down from referee Cummings. Here comes Darren Freely, takes it over the halfway line. Stuart Cummings has pulled them up again. So a knock on while Freely's getting up to play the ball. So they scrum down to Sheffield as the water carriers come on. So expecting a big start from Leeds tonight then.
Yeah, discipline's going to be important and ball possession as well, but Leeds know what it's like coming off 3 games in a week. You saw how jaded they were at London. It was only that they got off to a very, very good start down at the Stoop that meant they could hold on in the later stages. I think they'll be wanting to reverse that tonight, make sure that Sheffield are on the back at some points.
Sheffield is with the ball now. They're coming across and be interested to see how Brad Godden fares early on down this near side as he returns from a 5-week layoff. Lines up alongside Francis Cummings on the wing. That's with Wallace to Gareth Stevens, who's in for the injured Mark Ashton. Well, in the cut-out pass has missed the man. Keith Seaman who's taken out by a tackle, so it'll be scrum down to Leeds, just inside the Sheffield half. And Stevens, the ex-Leeds player, is in for Ashton, who was missing on Tuesday, and Sheffield coach John Keir said that had a big impact on their defeat by Gateshead Thunder at the Don Valley Stadium. As Ryan Sheridan feeds the scrum. Of course, he's an ex-Sheffield player. We should see with Sheridan. Some chief dominance over Stevens at number 7 today. That's Godden. Francis Cummings protesting at the play the ball. Cardo's in the way, the referee wears play on. This is Adrian Morley. Stevens in to wrap up the tackle. Terry Newton's in quickly at dummy half. This is Ryan Sheridan, out to Mark Granville. Steve Malloy making the tackle and he drives him back a good 2 metres. Wallace in support. McDermott takes the ball on the inside. He's well wrapped up again, second tackle in a row from Steve Malloy. Another ex-Leeds player in the Sheffield lineup. That's Freely. He's beaten Savastopoulos. It's the last tackle, says Stuart Cummings. So Leeds will have to do something now. Sheridan looking for the grubber. Finley in goal. But it's just too hard for Weston Harris to chase up. And Keith Senior allows the ball to roll dead. Of course, the Leeds Sheffield games always have a bit extra with the number of players from both teams have played for the other team.
Yeah, not just players but administrators as well, and Sheffield have always done well at Headingley. They tend to find that the compact ground and the atmosphere that they're not used to at Don Valley does bring the best out of them. And one thing about this Sheffield side, although they're not playing with a lot of confidence at the moment, their defence has been pretty good. Even on Tuesday night against Gateshead, there was no lack of application in defence.
And Gareth Stevens had several years at Headingley. He's been out with Sheffield lineup all season. As you see, and the ball's gone to Soji. Soji's clear. He's beaten Franny Curry's ankle tap. He's in just to the side of the post. An excellent pass by Dale Lawson, so he released Soji about 30 metres out from the Leeds line, and he just had the legs to go past Francis Cummings for the opening score. Well, so what do you make of that then?
Superb break from Dale Lawton in midfield. It just shows that Leeds have got to be wary. Great Britain international. Gareth Stevens in support was the link. He found Sodji, and Sodji's pace just took him outside Francis Cummings and away to the line. Great start for Sheffield, just what Leeds didn't want. And just after Pearson with a chance to put Sheffield 6-0 up inside the first 5 minutes.
Pearson lining the goal to put now. And he's put that over very comfortably between the posts. The flags have gone up. Sheffield are 6-0 up and we're on the 5 minutes on the clock. It's a poor start for Leeds. We would have expected to go down a lot to the Sheffield side, but really struggling at the minute to keep up with the pace in Super League. They were reeling from the news this week that the club are in severe financial trouble after a bad listing on the alternative stocks index. But anyway, it's Leeds to restart. Justin Harris lining up the ball on the halfway line. Stuart Cummings blows for the kick-off. Harris pumps the ball deep into the Sheffield territory. Will be picked up by Steve Malloy. Malloy driving in, and he'll be met by Terry Newton and Darren Fleary. This is Wallace for Stevens. Tackle again by Terry Newton, keeping Sheffield well inside their own half here. And the kick comes from Martin Pearson. Harris is across the cover. Cummings is leading it to him. The Sheffield cover come up quite well. Harris is aiming straight to Dale Cardozo and Soji. Well, he's beaten them, released the pass to Cummings, and it gave Cardozo a chance just to come back and tackle back. Gareth Stevens in the action again already. This is Marvin Golden now, he's coming through from the centres. But he's wrapped up 30 metres from his own line. This is Morley with the charge, he's got Hay in support. Leeds will be looking to go the same way. Now, Newton switched it back, he had Fleary lining up for a run, but instead he's brought it this way and it's Granville. Stevens again in the action, he's putting in some strong tackling early on. Southstone complaining, Dale Cardozo putting his hand on the player's head. This is Barry McDermott. Made a good 10 metres. Lawrence is holding him down, but referee Cummings says play on, it's the 5th tackle. He's Powell with the kick. The Leeds chasers look offside, but Stuart Cummings hasn't signalled anything. The kick's gone though, so the attack's running to Sheffield. That's the second poor kick from Leeds in the opening 7 minutes. The first from Sheridan, contributing to the opening strike of Sheffield, and the second one has let them off the hook when Leeds was finally starting to get some pressure on.
How Leeds do tend to start slowly is again they've proved tonight. You've got to credit Sheffield though. The legs will be weary, they're putting in the effort early on, the defensive line is solid, the chase was quite good on the kick, and Leeds need to be wary of the big forwards coming up the middle.
Tackle there by Newton and Granville. It's a poor pass back from Lawless to Gareth Stevens, but he managed to move it across to the Sheffield left anyway. This is Steve Malloy taking it off. Came on the rapid from the other side of the dummy half, but it didn't make him much ground. This is Stevens taking a hit up himself. It's a flat pass to Darren Shaw. The Southstand called for forward pass, but from our position it looked like a flat one more than anything. And Pearson with the kick again. Does well to sod it between two men. And Yestin Harris elects to leave it to go into touch just inside his own 10 metre area. Referee Stuart Cummings signals the scrum. And Leeds again will have some work to do here to force the ball out of defence. We've not really had the territorial advantage so far in the opening 8 minutes of this game. And the two kicks we've had have not really put the pressure on the Sheffield team at all.
It's amazing how quickly the crowd was quieting down as well. It just shows the impact that the Sheffield tackling's made. I think a lot of Leeds fans probably came here tonight expecting a kind of flamboyant football that they've seen it heading over the past 2 or 3 games, and a bit of a rout. But as we saw in the academy game before this, you cannot take Sheffield for granted, and it looks as though Leeds are going to have to work for any points they get tonight.
I think Phil's right there as Adrian Morley drives the ball to defence, and he's met by 2 strong tackles. This is Godden, he's wrapped up as well. Carberry's and Stevens in. And here comes Freary driving the ball up, but it looks like he's released the ball. Referee waves play on, but McDermott's failed to pick up the pass from Freary. The poor pass, it was rising, Freary picks it up from the ground, and Sheffield have regained possession, and Stuart Cummings likes to try to count clean, so they've got 6 to go. They're in a handy position here. As Keith Senior drives the ball, he's looking for the gap, he's beaten 3 men, and he's away. So long pass out to Soji. He's got Cummings to beat, and he's in. It's the second time Fanny Cummings has been beaten, all ends up down the right hand side here. Senior looked to have nothing on when he took the ball in midfield, but he did 5 or 6 tackles as he came across the line. And then Soji looked to be in a poor position when he took the pass. He was on a standing start, the pass was head high, but Cummings was caught flat-footed, and for the second time he's been beaten down that wing, and it's 10-0 to Sheffield. Phil?
Again, a great try, and you've got to say that it's the Great Britain players that are doing the damage for Sheffield. They may have had relatively quiet season so far. First try came from a great break from Dale Lawton. That's superb work from Keith Senior, obviously putting himself in the shop window. The rumours arrived that Leeds and Wigan are interested in him, and what a fantastic way to advertise yourself.
Leeds Pearson with a difficult goal kick right down on the touchline. He's taking his time lining the kick up. If he lands, it'll put the Eagles 12-0 up and in quite a handy lead after just 10 minutes of tonight's game. He's certainly taking his time. There's all the booing going on in the background. That won't affect the former Featherstone and Halifax halfback. But he's pulled it right across the face of the post. The flags stay down. It's still only 10-0, but Leeds have got a mountain to climb after 11 minutes.
Certainly, if Leeds thought they were in for an easy ride after 10 minutes, they're 10-0 down. The crowd are just starting to wonder what they're watching, and Leeds look as though they're a little bit shell-shocked. There's the Graham Murray factor to take into account. Obviously, he's left at very short notice. The team said that the patterns of play were set and it wouldn't make any difference. But the last thing Graham Murray needs at the moment is to pick up his paper tomorrow in Sydney and find his team have lost.
I suppose it's a big test for his assistant coach, Damien McGrath, as well. He's got charge of the team for 2 games. Clearly a tricky away trip at Hull next week. If we can go to the Boulevard and come away with 2 points, no matter what Hull's league position is this season, they'll do well. But his major priority is to get the points here tonight. And here goes Marvin Golden with a chance to put Leeds back in the running for them. He's well wrapped up down that side. It's Paul Sterling's in at dummy half. He's not seen the ball yet tonight. But he passes it away to Ryan Sheridan. He finds Barry McDermott. And McDermott's hauled down 12 metres short. Leeds are coming left. Powell looking for the runners. Finds Morley. This is Godden. But he's lost the ball in the tackle. Doesn't look to be ball stealing. I think the Sheffield arm caught his shoulder and made him release it. And Gareth Stevens picked up the loose ball, and this is Bright Soji running the ball out of defence. He's made a good 8 metres, and he's starting to take the pressure off Sheffield already. That's Michael Jackson, make it to 20-metre line. It's a big hit from Barry McDermott, and Darren Freary's in to wrap up. It's a scoop from dummy half by Johnny Lawless, and he's made ground. He's burst the man, and here comes Keith Senior. Cuts inside Harris. Sterling's in pursuit. He looks to have caught him just short, and Stuart Cummings got a difficult call to make here. He says that Senior's been held upon his back. That's excellent defensive work by Paul Sterling. It leaves Sheffield with a scrum down on the Leeds 10. Well, Phil, a lot of questions being asked of Paul Sterling's defensive techniques this season, but he certainly came up with a tackle when it mattered. Yeah,
I've seen 2 fantastic tackles there. The first one down on the Sheffield line by Bright Soji, and then Paul Sterling showing that whatever he could do, he could match. But Leeds under tremendous pressure again here.
Stuart Cummings pulled up the scrum for not packing right, but it's in second time and out with Gareth Stevens. This is Pearson. The inside runner is Carl Lovell. The Eagles will look to bring it back across the face of the post, but no, Stevens has opted to stay left, and his runner there looked to be Darren Shaw from here. This is Johnny Lawless at dummy half. Attempted interception by Barry McDermott, but it goes to ground. That'll give the Eagles another set of 6 on the Leeds 10. And really not a very good move by McDermott there. He really puts the pressure back on the Rhinos. 10 points down. They really don't want this territorial advantage from the Eagles to carry on for much longer. As it is, it's Stevens feeding the scrum. Mark Glanville's well offside, but the referee's playing on, and this is Savotadura joining the line. Return passes to Martin Pearson. There goes Rob Doyle, the Australian Leeds forward. He's just over the 10-metre line. The Leeds defence are back quickly and well set. There goes Dale Lawton. He's within 2 metres. The Eagles will bring it back to the right. Savotadura takes the inside ball. It's a standing start, and it leaves him an easy prey for Brad Godden. Dale Cardoza at dummy half. He's probably took a wrong option there, made just 2 metres with the scoop. Mark Glanville making it hard for him to get up. He's Sterling in again to make the tackle, but Sini gets the ball away, and it's gone out wide. But Carl Lovell, excellently wrapped up by Andy Hay. A really good tackle by the ex-Sheffield second rower, when Lovell looked to have a very good chance of scoring. The cross kicks come in. Looks like Danny Cummins has made the knock on, but Leeds have regained the ball anyway. It's Adrian Morley. Here's Godden with the scoop. Mark Glanville over the 20-metre line. Darren Fleer with the third hit up. He's met by a shoulder charge from Darren Shaw, but he's still making ground and working forward. It looks like Fleer is back to full fitness after missing out against the Broncos last week, which apparently he wasn't too happy about. This is Morley, another man back in the starting lineup. He releases Terry Newton. Newton was looking for the inside runner, but Cummins didn't just make it in time. Stuart Cummins won't give the holding down. I think he's right. I think Terry Newton played for that a little. But it doesn't matter because Powell's making inroads. It's Paul Sterling. Sterling's in at the corner. There's questions being asked as to whether there's a knock-on by Marvin Golden, but Stuart Cummins doesn't think so. And it's the first try for Leeds. It's Paul Sterling, capitalised on an excellent break by Darryl Powell. Showed Martin Pearson the inside. Pearson fell for a dummy. Powell carved him up. Found Golden. Golden couldn't control it, but it fell neatly for Sterling. He's in at the corner. Phil, just what Leeds needed.
Yeah, under tremendous pressure, and full credit to Sheffield. But they have the ball back to 1 on the Leeds line. Threw out a pass that was intercepted by Adrian Morley, and Leeds come 100 metres in a set of 6.
To restart the game for Sheffield. Looks like he'll be kicking down to the Sheffield right-hand side. And he finds Harris. Harris finds Glanville inside him. He's met by the tackle of Steve Malloy, about 13 metres from his own line. This is Newton to Hay. Hay's over the 20-metre line, but Johnny Lawless makes the tackle. And the Eagles will be looking for a big game from Lawless tonight. With a lot of their big guns missing, he'll be a key figure. An interception there is by Keith Senior, another main man for the Eagles tonight. He's found Gareth Stevens. He's wrapped up in a fierce tackle by Harris and Fleary, but he's retained possession of the ball and he's only 32 metres outside the Leeds line. That's Michael Jackson. So another big hit from Fleary. Jackson's lost his shirt and the referee comes and stopped the clock till he can find it again. The Eagles are in an excellent position here with 4 tackles to play. Lawless is saying let's get it on. We're just waiting for Jackson to restart. He does. Lawless to Darren Shaw, the Eagle skipper. Shaw's within sight of the post now. This is Lawless. Stevens for Pearson. Pearson coming back on the inside. Adrian Morley's got him well and truly wrapped up. Here comes Steve Malloy. That's another good hit by Andy Hay. He's certainly been pulling off some good tackles tonight. The one down on the wing by Lovell important. Savotadura goes for a drop goal, but it's not neither the height nor the direction, and it rolls dead. Not with a 20-metre tap for Leeds. A good chance to take the pressure off. Still, Leeds defence showing some signs of improvement.
Yeah, but they're still looking vulnerable out on the flank, which Keith Senior's having an absolute field day. And obviously Sheffield have moved Cardoza inside to give them a bit of pace. I've just been impressed with the Sheffield forwards. They're spelling the workload, just put Ricky Wright on and taking Dale Lawton off. And really it was only the wiles of the man in possession at the moment, Darryl Powell, that got Leeds out of a sticky situation.
Ricky Wright, another former Leeds player to join the fray, played for the Rhinos Academy team. He's come on in midfield. He's lining up there alongside Stuart Cummings as the Sheffield defence move up on Mark Granville, who releases a poor pass. As Brad Donnelly's picked it up, it missed its intended target, Yestin Harris. Well, Ricky Wright there holding the holding down job, but the referee playing on. A few penalties so far from Stuart Cummings, trying to keep his usual open game. And it's the fifth and last. Newton. Sheridan with the kick, the Leeds chaser onside, and Marvin Golden certainly moving up quickly. But Lovell's got it all wrapped up and he drives straight into Golden, who does well to haul him down. This is Sovatabua. Ricky Wright with his first hit up of the evening. Inside his own red zone and a halfway. Calls for forward pass against Johnny Lawless, but again probably unfounded. And Sheffield stay in possession. This is Steve Malloy. Releases a lovely ball to Michael Jackson. Jackson looking for sport. He finds it in Gareth Stevens, but the Eagles are going nowhere. That's a good tackle by Ryan Sheridan. Stevens is opposite number tonight. This is the kick downfield from Pearson. The chaser all offside, and it gives Harris a bit of time to move up. He's made a good 20 metres, but Danny Cummings came inside and missed the pass. So here comes Harris back on the inside. He's made it out of his own 30-metre area. He's wrapped up bang on 30 metres from his own line, in fact. And this is Cummings taking the ball now. Terry Newton at dummy half. Granville looking for sport, but Leeds are slow to move up and they're really walking into it now. Here comes Fleury. It's a good tackle by Lawless, textbook stuff. The Leeds supporters calling for offside against the Eagles, but I think Sheffield are guilty of just moving up quickly more than anything. This is Powell. Golden. He looks to release the pass. The touch should he's waving play on because Sheffield have picked the ball up. And it's with Senior again. And here comes Ricky Wright. That's a rash challenge by Adrian Morley. It looks a little high from the commentary position here in the south stand gantry. The referee has played on, but Ricky Wright hasn't. He's down on the floor. The Eagles physio on. And Terry Newton's looking a bit groggy as well. I think Morley may have connected with him as well. The Leeds team, the physio team are on looking at him. But it looks like Ricky Wright has received the worst of that challenge. And he's down on the floor. The clock stopped. Bill?
Yeah, it looked as though Adrian Morley was trying to set a lead to his team now by flying in, and maybe teammate Terry Newton took the brunt of his challenge. I don't think there was anything illegal about it. It's just a question of trying to gee his team up. Again, Leeds throwing away possession needlessly, partly due to the discipline and strength of the Sheffield defensive line, but also because Leeds aren't doing the groundwork at the moment. They're looking to try and play flamboyant football in the wrong part of the field without setting the right platform.
It's a fair assessment of what's gone wrong with the Leeds team tonight. Well, a peach of a pass from Malloy, and Sovatabua has really wasted that. Malloy got the ball out of the tackle and Sovatabua had ground to make, but instead he was looking to hand it on to either Cardoza or Soji down on the Eagles' right wing, and he managed to do neither. So Leeds are back in possession with Andy Hay. He finds Ryan Sheridan. He's looking to release the Leeds right wing, but he's well wrapped up by Keith Senior, who's been having a big game for the Eagles tonight against a club who reportedly have been trying to sign him for most of the season. McDermott gets the ball away to Newton, and he's coming right now, but that's a poor pass from Powell. Cummings picks it up anyway, and Stevens eventually makes the tackle. Here's Godden. Granville at dummy half, and he finds Adrian Morley. Morley spilled the ball in the tackle though. Stuart Cummings says play on, so the Eagles are now in possession, just 8 metres inside their own red zone. That's Doyle to Senior, lifted into the air by Terry Newton. Nothing illegal about it though. Here comes Darren Shaw. Stevens looking for the support that never came. With a good sidestep, but Pearson had gone inside him and Sovatabua was a bit slow on the uptake, so they're still just only over the halfway line as Ricky Wright takes the ball, and he looks to have recovered fairly well from the challenge by Adrian Morley that had him on the deck a few minutes ago. And the kick from dummy half is by Johnny Lawless. He finds touch just outside the Leeds 10-metre area. Not a bad kick on the pressure from the Eagles hooker, who coach John Keir will be expecting a big game of tonight, especially with their other hooker, Rocky Turner, out injured with a dead leg. So the scrum down will be to Leeds.
It's about now that you'd expect Leeds to start bringing on the likes of Lee Jackson again against his former club, and Jamie Matthew, and they've turned games round at Headingley certainly this season, and Leeds need their drive and impetus at the moment.
Certainly Terry Newton, the Leeds starting hooker, has had a pretty good game so far, normally replaced by Jackson about this time. Here comes Glanville. Newton it is, he's coming in at dummy half, he's looking for the runners who aren't there. And to the cheers of the South Stand comes the penalty for Leeds for holding down. Harris has taken it quickly, he's caught the Eagles' defence napping, but perhaps a pass to Golden would have been a better option for Leeds there, as he takes the tackle instead from Doyle. And from the Eagles, number 21, Simon Baldwin, he's taken the field. The Eagles making a second change of the evening, bringing on the former Lee and Halifax Leeds forward. He's then moving in for a tackle on Andy Hay now. But Hay gets the ball away, and he's found Yestin Harris clearing support, but a bit too wide for Harris to release the ball to. Terry Newton with the scoot. He's found a gap in the Eagles' defence. Keith Senior's across at pace to fill the hole, but Newton still made significant ground. And Leeds are on a bit of a roll here with Mark Glanville. Sells a dummy to Stevens. But again, it's another rash pass. Stuart Cummins has called it forward. I think it actually came off the boot of Adrian Morley, but maybe Stuart's adjudged that the initial motion of the ball from Mark Glanville's hands was forwards. Anyway, it's a Sheffield scrum now. Bright Soldier's pointed out that Keith Senior's down injured on the floor. So it's a drinks break for most of the teams as Stuart Cummins holds the clock up. Senior's up and walking about now. Sovatabira's taking some treatment, looks to take a knock on the leg. And the third player who's down looks to be Dale Cardoza, who's also walking. So the Eagles players showing the signs of distress of the hectic fixture programme they've been under lately. As Barry McDermott leaves the field to a strong, good reception from the South Stand. He's replaced by Jamie Matthew, who takes the field after 27 minutes of play and immediately slots into the front row. That's Stevens. This is Cardoza with the hit up, so he looks to be okay again after taking treatment at that scrum now. This is Stevens. Rob Doyle drives the ball in. And Jamie Matthew makes his first tackle of the evening. But Stuart Cummins is calling time off. Again, it's because an Eagles player's shirt's come off. And Cummins not happy with that play of the ball. He's called time off again. I think he's saying that the Eagles players restarted without him signalling time on to the timekeepers. So the ball is back with Doyle. And Lee Jackson is about to take the field for Leeds. It looks like Newton will be being replaced slightly later than usual, after 28 minutes of play here at Headingley. Jackson is walking down the touchline. Well, he's heading back to the dugout, so it looks like Newton's got a bit of a stay of execution as Steve Malloy takes the ball over halfway and again gets a good pass out of the tackle. But Darren Freely wraps up Simon Baldwin, and the kick comes in from Wallace, wearing the purple scrum cap. This is Francis Cummins. He's in his own and goal area. He's beaten one challenge. He's just made it into the field of play past Johnny Lawless's dive. Lawless caught offside, and that gives Yestin Harris room to make some ground from dummy half. Still inside the Leeds 30-metre area. That's Golden. This is Terry Newton. Something of a contretemps between Keith Senior and Andy Hay off the ball that they're playing on, and the kicks downfield is from Ryan Sheridan. But it's fallen perfectly for Bright Soji. Takes it in very slowly, and it's caught the error. A good hackle from Francis Cummins on Soji, who's just strolling up to the line, and Leeds again on the attack. Several of the Eagles players still backtracking to make the 10, and Ryan Sheridan making full use of that. Finding Andy Hay, the ball's gone to ground again, but the referee says it's gone backwards. And it's with Paul Sterling coming in field. Steps past Johnny Lawless. He's passed over to Brewer. And he's finally hauled down about 2 metres short by, I think, Rod Doyle. This is Matthew, a long ball from Matthew. Good hands to prop forward. That's Harris. And it's Francis Cummings in at the corner. The pass came from Brad Godden. And the referee confirms that Cummings has got the ball down before going into touch. So the Rhinos, on the hour, are just 2 points behind. And the initial break came there from Ryan Sheridan, who made the ground in midfield. But the crucial try maker was prop forward Jamie Matthew. Phil, good hands to prop forward from Jamie Matthew there.
Yeah, great long ball. It just needed some variety, and Lee Jackson's sneaking on in back play as well. That's going to give Leeds even more variety. But credit Francis Cummings, superb hit on his opposite number to win the ball for Leeds. And
as Harris lines up the goal kick, he's just about a metre inside the left-hand touchline. So Leeds have made just 2 changes so far. Jackson and Matthew on. And the kick falls just to the left-hand side of the uprights, which means Sheffield are still 2 points ahead, but certainly looks like Leeds are in a team in the ascendancy in a minute. Martin Maselli making a rare appearance on a first-team game, bringing the water up for the Rhinos there. Stuart Cummings gets the game underway. Pearson kicks long and deep. Adrian Morley picks it up and he's straight into the heart of the Eagles' defence. Gary Stevens and Dale Cardenas would do well to hold down a man much bigger than both of them. Andy Hay. Steve Malloy's putting in a big tackling stint tonight, and again he's the first man up to meet Hay. Hay not very happy with the challenge from Cardoza there. Something was said after the tackle. But Cardoza's again in on Yeskin Harris. And the young winger, Leeds-born, played his junior rugby at East Leeds, obviously feels he's got a point to prove against his hometown side, and he's certainly putting it in on the tackles for a centre who's actually normally a wingman. The Leeds are bringing it back to the right. That's Matthew. This is Newton. Pass looks slightly forward, but the referee's playing on. It's the 5th and last for Leeds. So be looking for the kick. It's going to be from Powell. The chasers are all onside this time, and the leading them up is Lee Jackson, who's leaping the ball, but Solitaburu's got it at the 2nd or 3rd attempt, but he makes no ground, and Jamie Matthews in to complete the tackle. Well, this is that's a useful run from Rod Doyle there, coming across the field, and the Eagles opt to bring it the same way. Solitabury, Toji. Lee Jackson makes the tackle with Brad Godden. And the Eagles are just inside the red zone. Toji grabbing at the ankle, but he doesn't get the penalty. Instead it's with Steve Malloy. It's the 5th and last for the Eagles. They're still inside their own half. Pearson with the kick. It's going to drop nicely for Paul Sterling. Well, he's missed it. And I don't know what's gone on there. The touch should just signal that he's gone into touch just before the Leeds try line. Whose head and feet it'll be, we don't know. The touch of Stuart Wright just coming on to consult with Stuart Cummings. And I think it'll be an Eagles head and feet, because Paul Sterling certainly had a stab at kicking that one. Yeah, and it's a scrum down to the Eagles. Well, Phil, bad mistake by Paul Sterling there.
Hero 1 minute, villain the next. Really, he should have either left that ball. It was never a 40-20. I don't know if it was a call to say leave it, but once he made a play for it, he tried to finish the job, and he's put his team under pressure as Sheffield, again, looking to bring their 3rd substitute on here.
The man coming on looks to be, well, Carl Lovell's certainly come into the pack. Simon Bolden, the man who appears to have left the field of play. Lovell slotted into the pack. We'll find out exactly who's come onto the field as the Eagles, in just a minute, as the Eagles take the ball up. This is Martin Pearson scooting from dummy half. Well, he's lost that one. He's regained it though. Stuart Cummings is blowing the whistle. He's called for a knock-on. I think that's probably an incorrect decision there from Stuart. Looked like Martin Pearson had regained control of the ball before it hit the deck, but it's certainly taken the pressure off Leeds. Pearson's pretty unhappy with that decision, but it's given Leeds a scrum down, and I think Stuart Cummings took the advice from his touch judge there. Sheridan feeding the scrum. Powell slotting in at standoff. And Lee Jackson at dummy half. Finds Terry Newton hitting the ball up. It's rare to see Newton and Jackson on the field of play together these days, but it seems like Newton's shifted out to loose forward to accommodate Jackson at hooker. This is Jackson now. Well, he's lost that. Dale Cardozo is the man who's picked it up for the Eagles. Beat Adrian Morley to it. This is Ricky Wright, met by Jamie Matthew and Darren Fleary. Lawless wants him to hurry to play the ball up. Rod Doyle. Well, confirmation of the Eagles change. It's apparently Darren Shaw, the Eagles skipper, is the man who's left the field. The man joining the action is Matt Crowther, who took a bit of a knock against Gateshead on Tuesday, and obviously rested on the bench for the first 36 minutes of tonight's encounter by his coach John Keir, which means that the Australian winger or centre Carl Lovell has moved into the pack. Certainly one of the bigger men in the Eagles backline. The kicks from Martin Pearson. He's putting Cummings under a lot of pressure. Sovatabura's gone up, which Soji has. Dale Cardozo thinks he's touchdown. Stuart Cummings doesn't know. And he's saying that Sovatabura knocked the ball forward in the air, and he signalled for the handover on the Leeds 10-metre line. Well, he could have probably pulled Sovatabura up for taking Cummings out while the ball was in the air there, but he's opted for the knock-on. Denies Cardozo a touchdown. It was never really on anyway. So Leeds have got the chance to play the ball out of defence with Fleary driving up to make the hard yards. He'll be certainly playing off the dummy half for the first few, and Matthew lining up to take the next hit up. Power in support. Excellent break by Jamie Matthew up the middle. He's wrong-footed Sovatabura, who's made up the ground anyway. But where was the support there? He's looking for the quicker legs, but they weren't there. Harris has arrived and taken the ball from dummy half and made 10 metres, but his senior and Michael Jackson made the tackle. Senior in very late, but Stuart Cummings is playing on. Misses Ryan Sheridan. Pulled down again. Darryl Powell taken out off the ball by Michael Jackson. It's the fifth and last for Leeds. Here's Yestin Harris. The pass is well forward, and while Marvin Golden tacked it ahead, Stuart Cummings is opting for the turnover on the Sheffield 10-metre line. That's a good chance for Leeds gone begging there after what was an excellent break by Jamie Matthew.
Yeah, Leeds not as fluent as they have been over recent games. I know that bringing players back in sometimes disrupts the pattern when you've had a settled team. Certainly Sheridan and Godden, quality players, but it's just not sparking for Leeds at the moment. And of course, Yestin Harris has been in the thick of the action at scrum half for a couple of weeks. Now he's dropped back to full back, and Leeds just need to settle things down. It's certainly been Sheffield's half so far.
I think that's probably a fair assessment, as the Eagles again are doing the hard work and getting the ball out of defence. They've not had the best of the territory in the last probably 18, 19 minutes or so. Here comes Hay, he's stolen the ball. This is Francis Cummings. He's beaten the tackle of Bright Soji. But Soji's tracked back. The tackle also came in from Johnny Lawless. The Leeds have got a full set of 6 to play on the Eagles line. And again they've lost the ball. It was a tough challenge on Fleary by Steve Malloy, and the Eagles have come up with the ball. Looks to be Rod Doyle who drops on it. And here comes Sovatabura. Well, the Eagles were making the hard yards out of defence when they made an error, but Leeds within 2 tackles have dropped the ball as well. I wouldn't like to see the error sheets for either team tonight. I think both coaches will be unhappy with the failure of the two sides to really hang on to the ball for sets. I think the Eagles have done better at Leeds at that. They've certainly had to tough it out for the last 20 minutes and not have the territory. Spent much of the half when they've been in possession in their own half. But the forwards, certainly well led by Steve Malloy, have worked very hard, as Rod Doyle, one of those forwards, drives the ball up. He's almost out of his own red zone on the last tackle. Pearson gets the kick in. It's took a rebound off Lee Jackson, which means it'll fall more kindly for Yestin Harris. He's looking for Godden. Finds Godden with the pass, dummy twice, but Dale Cardozo hasn't fallen for it, and he's hauled Godden down. Cardozo somewhat unhappy with Godden's handoff there, but here comes Andy Hay over the halfway line. Jackson spots the gap and he's scooted, looking for support, no one there. Finds Darryl Powell instead. And Leeds on a roll, but Michael Jackson slowing it down somewhat there, and he's allowed his defence to get back in cover. This is Matthew. He's certainly made an impact since he came on. An excellent pass and a very good run. Adrian Morley. He's found Sheridan. Sheridan's away under the post. He's touchdown. That's a superb try. Really came out of nothing. Morley found the half gap, shot through it, he drew the cover, and it was a textbook pass to Sheridan, who came screaming up on his inside in support. Sobitadou didn't have a chance with two men steaming down on him. And Sheridan's under the post and put Leeds in the lead. Phil.
Yeah, patience paid, and maybe that's the way Lee should have played the whole half. There was nothing really on when Lee Jackson took the ball up to the line. He was desperately looking for a runner. Sheffield remained disciplined, but they didn't see Adrian Morley looming on the outside. Shot through the gap. Sheridan, like all good scrum halves, in support. And to be fair, Leeds are going to go in ahead at half-time, and they don't really deserve it. Full credit to Sheffield, but maybe the true grit of Leeds showing there, as there is an injury in midfield, and it looks as though, as the half-time hooter goes, it is quite a serious one.
Well, the half-time's gone with Leeds 4 points ahead. Yestin Harris putting over the goal. We'll find out for you who it is who's the man down as the second man comes over to treat the injured Leeds player, and club doctor Paul Lanfrey comes on to check up on him as well. But it's half-time at Headingley. It's Leeds Rhinos 14, Sheffield Eagles 10. Players are back on to kick off for the second half, and the main news from the Leeds camp is that Lee Jackson has not returned to the fray. He was down in back play when Leeds went over for the final try from Ryan Sheridan, which has put him in his second half lead. And for the first couple of minutes of the half-time interval, he was lying on the field with the club doctor next to him, carried off with his arms strapped up, and he's left the field. The man who's come on is Kevin Sinfield, who's replaced Mark Glanville. Eagles look to be unchanged so far. Can't see any changes on their side, but if they have them, we'll have them in a minute. There'll be Leeds who kick off. So Newton will be back to hooker with Jackson's absence, and Sinfield will slot in the back row instead of Glanville. It's Harris who kicks off the second half here at Headingley, with the Rhinos 14-10 in the lead, and it's Steve Malloy, the pick of the Eagles, back in the first half, who drives the ball in and makes a good 15 metres. The Eagles forwards certainly worked very hard in the first period, didn't they, Phil?
Yeah, great team effort from a side that must be really, really tired, and their coach will be exceptionally proud of the effort they put in. We said when they played Gateshead and certainly Hull, it wasn't really the defence that was causing them a problem. They had problems on attack, but in the first 20 minutes here, they'd solved those, and now it's a question of grim determination and hanging in as tiredness sets in. The try just on the stroke of half-time could be the game breaker.
I think that's probably a fair assessment. Leeds will certainly look to build on that try, and they're the team who are coming in a lot fresher to this game. They had the fixture pile up the other week, but it's Sheffield's turn, and here comes Paul Sterling, and he's made a good return of that kick. I think Graham Murray will be impressed with that. Sterling's starting to come back into form for the Rhinos after a poor first half of the season. He missed out on the Challenge Cup final, of course. Looks to taking a slight knock in that tackle. He's limpy a little bit, but Leeds are back on the right. And that's Sinfield taking his first drive of the second half. Kevin Sinfield on in the half-time interval. This is Darren Cleary. Good run from him. He's worked hard tonight in his return to the team. This is Jamie Matthew. A lovely pass there to Powell, who gets it way overhead to Hay. Hay cuts inside. He's wrong-footed Sobitadou. Martin Pearson desperately tackling. And the decisions for Stuart Cummings, who waves play on. Hayes lost the ball over the line, but Sochi's lost it as well, so the Rhinos are back in possession. It's Adrian Morley. Adrian Morley pulled down about a metre short of the line by some desperate Eagles tackling. Tackle count right clean, so Leeds have got 6 to go, and it's with Harris. He's about 2 metres short. 5 tackles left for Leeds. Sinfield at dummy half looking to do something. He finds Cleary, who drives it in, and he'll be held short. The tackle is by Baldwin, who has returned to the field. And this is with Sheridan. They're looking to go slightly deeper, Leeds. The long ball is from Darryl Powell, and Marvin Golden does well to pick it up from his bootstraps. Michael Jackson makes the tackle. Powell at dummy half, finds Hay, Hay to Matthew. Matthew, no one in support, clearly out of position. So instead he goes it alone, and he's only just pulled down. This is Terry Newton from dummy half, and he's in. He's under the tackle of Salvatore. Terry Newton touchdown. Slack defending by the Eagles, but the Rhinos had a roll on, and he's got it down. There's some protests from Rob Doyle, but there's nothing wrong with that score. Good bit of opportunism from Terry Newton from dummy half. And with Lee Jackson off, it's going to have to be a big half from Newton in the Hookers jersey. And he scored what could be a vital try for Leeds. And that may well be a crucial score, with the Eagles extremely tired after Tuesday night's game. It's hard to see when they'll come back from that one. Harris has got a simple goal kick to follow, straight in front of the posts. He's taking his time, but he should undoubtedly put this one over to extend the Leeds lead even further. And he does. So only a couple of minutes into the half, and already Leeds are off the mark for the second period scoring. And Phil, correct assessment at half-time when he said that the last try would be a game-breaker.
Yeah, it looked as though psychologically that was going to be important. Sheffield's heads just dipped a bit as the players were going off the pitch. Understandably, their efforts deserved at least to be in front at half-time. 10-8 probably would have been about fair. You just felt with Leeds stealing a try right on the break that would give them the renewed confidence. Sinfield and Newton have come on and already made an impact. Again, you have to say a terrible mistake from Salvatore when he lost the ball in the shadow of his own post, and Leeds from that moment were always going to score. It was just a question of when. Newton took the dummy half route, and I think now that you will see the expected points that a lot of the people coming here thought they were going to see.
But the Eagles have regained the ball from their own kick-off, which is promising, and Michael Jackson storming away down the touchline. The man in support was Matt Crowder, the substitute. Bit of lying on from Paul Sterling, but the Eagles have got 6 to go, and it's with Steve Malloy, well tackled by Darryl Powell. This is Martin Pearson. Stevens on the loop, and an inside ball to Carl Lovell. Johnny Lawrence at dummy half. Goes it alone, down the blind side, but the Leeds defence are aware of it, and they've certainly packed down the blind side, a bit thin out to the left. And that's the route that the Eagles are taking. Pearson. Well, Baldwin slightly overrun the ball there. Yeah, and Stuart Cummings has judged that the pass from Pearson was forward. Well, that was Baldwin's fault. He overshot. By the time Pearson was ready to make the task, he had little choice. And that brought to the end quite a promising attack from the Eagles.
Yeah, and when you looks out. Darren Shaw coming back on. Reversal for Matt Crowder. I don't know if that's a blood bin reversal. We can't tell from up here. But certainly Sheffield are going to need to spell all their resources as often as possible.
Important for the Eagles to regain their own kick-off there, because we've been scoring twice inside 5 minutes, either side of the break. Certainly seems as if the Rhinos have now got a chance to really get a roll on and put the points on the board. The Eagles looking pretty tired, but they know that the key to staying in this game is to stop the Rhinos scoring again quickly. They get another try on the board fairly soon, and that'll be curtains for the Eagles. This is Jamie Mackey, about 5 metres from the halfway line. Leeds making good ground from their own half. This is Morley on the burst. He's found the gap, handed off Malloy. He's away. Salvatore is across to make the tackle. He's struggling to make it, and Malloy, if support had arrived there for Morley, then there would have been a try in the offing. As it was, Terry Newton arrived just too late. Here's Justin Harris. The last tackle. Powell has to work something. He's found Andy Hay, and Stuart Cummings has rolled it forward. Well, Hay there had a chance to make a break, and if the man had been there for return pass, it could have been a try. Instead, the pass from Darryl Powell ruled just forward. So it's an Eagles turnover. There's an excellent break from Adrian Morley. He ran the line very close to the play. The ball caught the Eagles' markers unaware. And Steve Malloy, just coming across, was only able to lay a hand on him. That gave him the gap. And it was up to Salvatore to make the tackle after making 2 mistakes, and he won up to the last Leeds try. Salvatore came good in the end. Andy Hayes took a knock to the eye, but he's across trying to make the tackle on Senior there. And it's Simon Baldwin for the Eagles. Hayes up and about, but interesting to see if that eye injury is a bad one. I don't think it is. This is Pearson. Hayes in on the tackle. Stevens with a chip over the top. A late tackle from Cleary takes him out of the game. Stuart Cummings opts not to give a penalty when perhaps he should have done. So Leeds instead have the ball. A very rash pass from Justin Harris. Cummings struggled to control it. The Eagles haven't picked up, but it'll be their scrum down anyway, about 10 metres from the Leeds line. And Phil, what was Westinghouse thinking there?
Well, again, you can't play flamboyant football until you've created the right platform. Leeds have now got 10 points ahead and probably feel that in their mind the game is won. Mistakes like that means it definitely isn't.
Eagles with a chance to capitalise then. Gareth Stevens feeding the scrum. Cardoza taking the drive. Makes it over the 10 metre line. Leeds defence reassembling quickly, but Pearson can work something now. It's out to Solitaire, who's took the ball far too flat. Tries to step on the spot and he's made no ground at all. So instead they're still just on the 10 metre line. Here now is Darren Shaw. Jamie Matthew with the tackle, assisted by Terry Newton. Eagles go the same way. This is Doyle. Look for the inside runners. Took a rebound off the hand of Andy Hay. And it's another set of 6 for the Eagles. The Leeds crowd are complaining, but they've got no reason to, because it did just take a slight rebound off Andy Hay's hand as Rob Doyle tried to make the inside pass. So the Eagles with a real chance to capitalise. Martin Pearson at dummy half. Stevens, Malloy. Pass from Stevens, ill-advised. Malloy wasn't expecting it, he's going on the dummy. So he's well wrapped up. This is Baldwin. Doyle. Good tackling from Darren Fleary. The Leeds defence holding up well here against the sustained Eagles pressure. Stevens coming back and there's no options open to him, so he tries to kick through, and that's too hard and too long, and it's gone dead, and the pressure's off Leeds. Bill, some good defence there.
Yeah, needed to be. Again, Sheffield just lacking runners. Tiredness obviously is setting in a little bit, and a bit of a waste of possession there from Gareth Stevens. There were still tackles available to him, and yeah, credit to the Leeds defence, but they just really need to settle things down on attack, because Morley's shown with the break that he can certainly make a big impact, and looks like McDermott's coming back to replace Fleary.
So by McDermott coming on, he was replaced in the first half after about 25 minutes. Fleary the man off, as Phil says. McDermott just taking his position in the line as Terry Matthew takes this run. He certainly had a good game since he came on as the first half replacement for McDermott. And here comes McDermott now. His first drive since returning to the field, and he's broken the tackle of Dale Cardoza, and Stevens eventually hold him down. There's a quick play the ball from the big man, and Leeds are taking the opportunity to spin it right. Andy Hay spots the gap. Again, there's no support for Hay. As Keesini makes the tackle. It's the last one for Leeds, and that's the chip over the top from Harris. Well taken by Gareth Stevens, sweeping for the Eagles behind the line. Mr. Sovatabura ambling up to the line, going absolutely nowhere. Tackle is by Adrian Morley. Bright Sojin at dummy half. He's got no runners open to him, so he's going to have to take the run himself. The Leeds defence were aware of that, and the tackle came in from McDermott and Morley. This is Steve Malloy.
Again, you've got to praise Sheffield's honesty there. They've only made about 25 metres in that set of 6, but they're working so hard. Although again, you see a pressure put on the kicker, great pressure from Brad Godden, and Johnny Lawless has kicked out on the full, on his own 30 metre line on the last.
So a hard-working set of defensive 6 from the Eagles on their own line, wasted with a poor kick from Lawless under the pressure. And Leeds have got the ball back with Darryl Powell here. Bowling trying to make the tackle. Powell's released it to Matthew. The Leeds runners regrouping on what's quite a warm night here at Headingley. It's stayed fairly humid all evening despite there being no sunshine. And both sides starting to feel the effect of the heat. This is Newton. Andy Hay on the inside run. He's had a strong game in the second row. He's really made an impact. The time and again he's been looking for support that hasn't been there. This is Powell. Sells the dummy to Steve Malloy. He's inside the Eagles 10. Sheridan. Sinfield almost over the line, but the ball has popped up forwards, and while Francis Cummings has got a hand on it, it definitely won't be a try. The decision from Stuart Cummings will presumably be a forward pass or a knock-on from Kevin Sinfield, and the scrum down will go to the Sheffield Eagles on their own 10 metre line as the water carriers descend on both teams. And you can't deny them the drinks break on what's been a very quick-paced game, considering the heat here at Headingley tonight. This is Sovatabura. Martin Pearson. The Eagles are stacked on their own right-hand side. They're coming down the left, and there's very few men down here. So Pearson will be bringing it back to his right. Rod Doyle's lined up at first receiver. Leaps across the line and plays an angles ball to Simon Baldwin. He's pulled down 30 metres from his own line. Lawless. Scoots, finds a gap, he's stopped Andy Hay. Steve Malloy's the man in support. An excellent tackle from Paul Sterling's forced the error. Just as Malloy took the ball, Sterling launched on him from behind. Malloy juggled with it and lost it, and while Marvin Golden didn't pick up either, Sterling's made the decisive impact. Well, the Eagles just caught Andy Hay flat-footed in the defence. Johnny Lawless scooted with some good acceleration from dummy half. Hay moved up rather slowly and just managed to get one hand on him. Now's the chance the Eagles needed, but the cover defence from Sterling was excellent there, and Leeds are in possession again. This is Harris. Godden down the left. He's beaten Dale Cardozo, but he just stumbles, loses his footing, and Bright Soldier's in to make the tackle. But they're coming back to the right. Harris. Adrian Morley. Morley pulled down 30 metres from the Eagles' line. Lying on there from Darren Shaw, but again, Stuart Cummins, who's been fairly lax on the holding down tonight, lets it go. Whether he's got the balance between an open game and a quick play the ball right is questionable, but it's Leeds still in possession. Andy Hay. Sinfield. Terry Newton across the line of defence, looking for the support. Marvin Golden overshot slightly, but Sinfield arrived in the end. Andy Hay is who slices the ball back out of the path of Senior and back to a Leeds player who's down, who was tackled. It was Jamie Matthew, who eventually finished under power body. This is Harris. He stepped past Lawless. Sovatabou's got him by one boot, but Darryl Powell has time to get the ball, and he's in on the post. An excellent sidestep. He left Rod Doyle and Darren Shaw flat-footed in front of their own post. But still, a bit of genius from Yestin Harris there.
Yeah, again, the support wasn't quite on his shoulder, and you look again to the experienced man in the team, and that's Darryl Powell. Read the situation magnificently. I think Yestin Harris obviously tried to step out of the way of the referee and into Sovatabou, otherwise he would have scored. But he stood up in the tackle of Sovatabou long enough, searched for support. It was Powell that read the situation superbly. He's crossed under the post. The game's gone for Sheffield. You've got to credit their effort. I think their chance went with Sterling's tackle on the back of Steve Malloy. And again, Sheridan taken out quite late just shows that Sheffield are finding it difficult to get back into line.
Of course, the Leeds maybe could have had a few more points on the board, and perhaps Graham Murray, when he gets back, will have a few questions about the support play tonight.
Yeah, again, you mentioned the heat. That's obviously a factor. New players keep coming on. We've now got Newton back on at hooker. We've got Sinfield standing in at half-back. Looks like Powell is actually playing at loose forward. They're swapping about between them, Powell and Sinfield. And it is going to take time, but I think the start of a Leeds victory was when they scored the try just on the strength of half-time, and now it's a question of how many they'll score.
I think that's pretty much correct. The try by Ryan Sheridan was the real impact breaker, and while the Eagles have defended stoutly in this half, that try I think may just have turned the game. There's a few heads dropped and they're walking back quite slowly to restart the game, and Yestin Harris it was who slotted over a simple conversion to Darryl Powell's try there in front of the posts. And Martin Pearson will restart with his team 16 points behind now. It's the Rhinos 26, the Eagles 10. We've got about 25 minutes left to play here at Headingley, and the Eagles again have to kick off to Leeds and watch the Rhinos drive the ball out of defence with Barry McDermott, who makes onto his own 20-metre line with a real charge. And Phil, with the big men like McDermott certainly coming into play now, you know it's going to be tough for the Eagles' defence, isn't it?
I think, to be fair, you can already read the the post-match press conference. John Keir's going to be really pleased with the effort. He's going to say he couldn't have asked for any more of his players, having played their third game in 6 days. But again, Damien McGrath will say there's a lot to work on. At the end of the day, it's going to be a question of Leeds going back into second place.
That's the all-important factor for Leeds, but number 2 question marks over the performance tonight. They could have had a few more points on the board, but at the end it's 2 Super League points at a vital stage of the season as Harris kicks downfield. Perfectly weighted kick. It's put Soji under pressure. The man up with the chase was Adrian Morley. He didn't make the tackle, but there were several others there, and it was Brad Godden who eventually wrapped up Soji on his own 10. Sovatabou from dummy half, but he's going to suffer the same fate. The Eagles still not out of the 20-metre zone, and the second half defence from Leeds have been far better than in the first half, when they certainly look to be struggling a little bit. But the effort here has been pretty good in the second period against admittedly a tiring Eagles side, and John Keir certainly afterwards, as Phil says, must be questioning the 30-match league programme that his side and every other side in Super League have to go through this season. Another fine tackle there from Paul Sterling on the right, and it's taken the Eagles for their 5th tackle. So Gareth Stevens filling in at dummy half has to kick from a not very advantageous position, and it tells in the final position because it's found Iestyn Harris fairly comfortably, and he in turn has handed on to Francis Cummings, and already Leeds are pressuring the halfway line. Gareth Stevens is complaining for a knock-on. The Eagles backline all lined out expecting the ball. Matt Crowder out here on the left wing suffered a mild knock in the week, but he came on midway through the first half. He's had very little impact so far, but he's a key attacking player for the Eagles. And they're moving it towards his wing here, that's lovely. Senior's opted to come back on the inside though. This is Simon Baldwin. Brad Godden is the vital man in the tackle. Sheridan is the one lying on the floor. Here comes Michael Jackson. Matthew and Newton, neither managed to pull him down. Lawless, that was Shaw. This is Doyle. Doyle to Sovatabua. Sovatabua reaches out and touches down. The Leeds players are complaining for forward pass. Stuart Cummings has got no problems, and it's a try for the Eagles. Phil, we weren't expecting that, were we?
No, good support play. They're spelling their resources well. I know there are blood bins involved, but I've got down about 10 substitutions so far for Sheffield, and that's the way they've got to do it. And you've got to credit Bright Stodgy. He's gone in for a hat-trick. Can't do no more than that. Play to the whistle. The referee's given Sheffield the benefit of the doubt, and it's no more than they deserve.
Yeah, my mistake there. It wasn't Sovatabua. It's Soju who's gone over. Came in off his wing there to finish off the break. Hard to tell from our commentary position high above the south stand and the gantry. It's a long way down from here, and the Eagles' kit's one of the most difficult to read the numbers off the back. Slightly to the right hand side of the posts as we look at it from this side. The Eagles have got a man down in back play. Carl Ruvel's receiving treatment to what looks like a calf muscle injury as Pearson puts over the goal that brings the Eagles within 10 points of the Rhinos. Ruvel's up, but he's limping. We're not sure just how many changes the Eagles have got to play with. There's certainly a lot of theirs have been from the blood bin, as Phil says, but Lovell perhaps will be left to run off his knock, and he's certainly limping back towards the right wing. Leeds with no such injury problems. The only man who appears to have taken a bad knock tonight is Lee Jackson, who of course departed the fray just before half-time, well on the half-time with what looks to be a badly injured arm. The Leeds club doctor was down very quickly to the pitch side to treat Jackson, but that hasn't affected the Rhinos. They've put in a good second half performance so far, with that one aberration that's led to Soji's try there. This is the Eagles back in possession. Johnny Lawless at dummy half. The tackle came in from Darryl Powell, who's worked hard all night. Played for 60 minutes now, never often plays for much longer than that, but he might be asked to play the full 80 with Lee Jackson off. But he's worked hard on his defence all evening. He's been a crucial man in attack with that try just about 10 minutes ago now. Harris ambling back for the kick, leaves it for Sterling. Well, the only chase there is from the Eagles' number 32, Chris Thorman, who's joined the fray. It's a high shot from Gareth Stevens. Referee plays on because it's advantage for Paul Sterling. He's made another 10 metres. He sees a bit more rough treatment in the tackle from, I think, Rod Doyle. There's another excellent run from Sterling, who's having a fine game. But it's definitely quite a high challenge from Gareth Stevens. Whether it was off the shoulder or reckless, or whether he really aimed for the head, you can't tell from up here. McDermott's got the ball away there to Newton. Again, no support for Newton. He's looking for it, trying to get ball out of tackle. And Leeds have come up with the penalty. And there'll be a man in the sin bin now. Harris took the quick tap, and it was a professional foul from Michael Jackson. Stopped him from taking a quick tap penalty. He was only about a metre away from the mark when Harris tapped it, and that's another blow for the Eagles. Jackson leaving the field. It leaves them with 12 men, and Harris will be going for the 2.
Yeah, I would think he probably would, but that is the last thing that Sheffield would want. Out on their feet, just clawed their way back into the game. They've spelled the resources really well. There's at least 2 of them carrying quite severe knocks, and for 10 minutes now they're going to have to play with 12 men. When your luck's out, your luck's really out.
Yeah, the Eagles having a tough time of it tonight, and John Keir will have a few mitigating factors to point out at the press conference afterwards. Harris won't care. He's lining up the goal kick. They'll extend the Rhinos' lead back to 12 points. 2 converted tries, which will be a tough one for the Eagles to come back from, especially with Michael Jackson just headed for a sin bin. He's sat in the dugouts now watching Harris line up the goal kick, and with Lovell carrying a knock to the leg and one or two others looking pretty wary on the Eagles team, it's going to be a tough time for them. Harris puts it over to take the score to Leeds 28, Sheffield Eagles 16, sorry. And Chris Thorman has taken the field for the Eagles a few minutes ago, the Newcastle-born halfback. Stevens is still on the field. And as Phil says in the background, Martin Pearson has shifted out to fullback. So Thorman will be slotting in at halfback. Wazeli Silva-Tabua, the fullback, has had quite a poor game tonight in my opinion, as departed the fray after an hour, as Pearson lines up the restart. He's again opted for the high kick. Senior's chasing, does well to jump up and pat it back, and the Eagles have picked up possession. Excellent work from Senior there. He's laughing at Ryan Sheridan. He's very delighted with himself. It was Lovell who managed to pick it up, but he's looks like his calf injury's got worse in that tough tackle he had to take there. But the Eagles are making ground. Looks to be Simon Baldwin there, who took that drive in and battled forward for an extra couple of metres. The physio's on to have a look at Lovell, who's dropping back to fullback, and he's not looking in good nick. Seniors doesn't seem to be aware of the injury. There's a big gap in the Eagles' left-hand side attack. Thorman's slotting across to fill in, but Lovell's waving the physio away, and it looks like he's going to have to continue. Stevens, Thorman, long ball, misses Senior. Senior was playing for the dummy ball. Thorman wasn't. Matt Crowther picks up in the end, but he's wrestled by three Leeds players. Marvin Golden is the one who's took his scum cap off for him. And Thorman with the kick, it's high. His Eagles chase is there. Darren Shaw times his tackle perfectly, and Yestin Harris is on the deck. Thorman followed his own kick to wrap him up. This is Francis Cummings, 30 metres from his own line. Eagles defence a couple of metres offside on the right. Here comes Terry Newton, spots the half gap, shakes off Gareth Stevens. That's good work from Martin Pearson filling in at fullback. Excellent tackle, stood his ground and knocked him down. This is Hay to Golden. Golden looking for the options. Big hit from Keith Senior, straight across the shoulders. Golden's felt that. He's lost possession. Stuart Cummings looked to be looking the other way. Paul Sterling's come up with the ball. Andy Hayes down again. Looks to be taking the knock again. Hayes been in the wars all night. But the ball's in midfield with Terry Newton. So far, some of the Leeds players starting to show signs of tiredness as well now.
Yeah, last tackle, kick through from Darryl Powell. It's a question of the chase and whether the ball goes dead. Sheffield will be pleased. That will waste some time. There's some really tired bodies out there. Not a lot of shape or pan to the game at the moment. Sheffield mathematically is still in it, but this period of 10 minutes is going to absolutely kill them, I think. You look round at the Sheffield players, and very, very few of them have even got the energy to drive the ball in.
Well, Ryan Sheridan's just had a spot of treatment for Leeds as well. Andy Hay lining up slightly behind Barry McDermott, doesn't really want to take part too much because he's definitely carrying some sort of a knock. It's the Eagles who spilt the ball, and it's their injured man Carl Lovell who dropped it. But Stuart Cummings has suggested that there was a hand in there from Leeds. He's certainly given the Eagles another set of tackles, and it's with Gareth Stevens. Well wrapped up by Morley and Cummings. But again, there's very little pattern to the Eagles players, Phil says. Another one-up drive on the wing. They went for the blind side, they didn't bring it back inside. When you see the amount of tired bodies in midfield for them, you'll understand why. This is Pearson with a kick from fullback. The chase is very slow from the Eagles. A lot of tired bodies there. But he's found touch. Whether it's the 40-20 or not, we're not sure. That decision will lie with Stuart Cummings. It was. He's given a head and feet to the Eagles. Keith Senior applauding Pearson for what was an excellent kick. Lying back at fullback instead of Silva-Tabua, just getting the extra few yards to get the ball in on the less pressure, and crucially inside his own 40. He's given his side some possession here. Whether they can string together a set of 6 coherent tackles is another question. Pattern has gone a lot. Pearson moving back to the fullback will have helped. Means Chris Thorman has had to come on and put his influence onto the game. As Mark Lanville returns to field, Andy Hayes come off. He's been carrying him up for about 10 minutes down on the right hand side, and the Leeds bench has finally relieved his misery. As the Eagles knock on again, That was Pearson who made the mistake after giving them position from his kick. So it's another error from the Eagles. Leeds have got a chance to hit the ball out of defence. They're spinning it right across the line. This is Harris. Still Harris. Cummings on the inside. He's broken one tackle. Soji's finally pulled him down. Cummings didn't like it much. There's an altercation going on, and they're going it all at it now in the back play. Soji and Cummings went at each other. Soji apparently looked like he went for the head, but whether he did or not we can't tell. There's certainly fists flying there. Touch judges on. Stuart Cummings played on for a long time there, and what he decides I don't know.
Been a great battle between those two all night. You've never known who's going to emerge from it on top, and on that one I think Cummings made the break. Soji decided that either holding down or stopping him getting into support the play of the ball was the best idea. Cummings took exception to it, decided to fight his corner. Soji certainly swung one. It'd be interesting to see which way the touch judge sees this.
That way the Stuart Cummings will have Eden off at this stage of the game, and as Phil says, it'll probably go on report. Yeah, he's pulled both captains out, summoned the other touch judge, Stuart, right onto the field, and it'll go on report as usual. Expect there'll be very little to see from that. Handbags at 6 paces from the two wingers, and it has gone on report. Don't know which way the penalty will go. Well, the yellow card's going to come out. Soji's in the tin bin. Francis Cummings will undoubtedly follow him in a minute after Leeds chance have had a chance to bee the Sheffield winger off. Cummings is out, he's in the bin as well. So Sheffield down to 11, Leeds to 12. And the penalty goes to Leeds, as we're playing a form of overstocked sevens here at Headingley until Michael Jackson returns to the fray. And it's Jamie Mathew taking a hit up down the Eagles' right hand side defence that Bright Soji's just vacated. That's Barry McDermott. He's pulled up for the forward pass. Once again the Leeds fans none too happy about that, but it certainly looked forward from up here. Sheridan just delayed his ball a second too long for the charging McDermott. And really, Phil, game's degenerating a little.
Yeah, I think if we're not careful with what happened between Wigan and Wakefield last week, and now what's happened between Leeds and Sheffield, this going to end up with modified games.
This is Seeley taking advantage of the space. His pass has got the ground, but he's got the legs to get back and pick it up himself. Glanville's holding down, and maybe Sheffield can do something with Leeds only having 12 on. It can't be long till Michael Jackson's back on the paddock for the Eagles, as Johnny Lawless comes in at dummy half after Darren Shaw was tackled. This is Rod Doyle. That was Dale Cardoza knocking on. Brad Godden picks up. And it's Adrian Morley on the charge into the tired ranks of the Eagles forwards. Made some significant ground there, and Leeds got 5 to play with. Harris finds the gap. He's caught Carl Lovell unawares. He's going away. Chris Dorman's the man in the pursuit, but it looks as if the momentum has taken Harris over the line. Stuart Cummings thinks so anyway, and the try is for Leeds.
Yeah, when you need a captain, he steps up and does the business. Came from Morley initially, he made a huge bust up the middle. Harris one step on the inside, and he has got deceptive pace. The one thing you never do in a situation like that is ever catch him. Foreman looked like he was on his back all the way there, but by the time he reached him, the line had come. Harris scores. It's a game attempt from Sheffield. You really must give them all the credit. Morally, perhaps on the back of the schedule they've had, they may even take the spoils in this game. In terms of league points, though, it's Leeds who will get the 2.
Crucially, I think there, the man who missed his tackle was Carl Lovell, a little bit slow moving in the line because he's carrying all sorts of knocks out there as the Aussie. But the Eagles, I don't think they've got anyone left to come on. They've got 2 men in the bin, they've got various others off with knocks, and Yestin Harris found the right man to run at. Lovell was just a fraction of a second too slow to get his hands on him. Harris shot through. Chris Thorman, the only pair of fresh legs on the paddock for the Eagles, just didn't quite have the pace to match Harris, and he slid over the line. That means the league skipper's got the chance to put Leeds another 2 points ahead with a fairly simple goal kick. Perfectly positioned between the uprights. It's another 2 for Leeds, another 2 for Harris, who's put his usual points all the way for the Rhinos today. Last game set and match for the Loiners. So 7 minutes to play at Headingley. Score now, Leeds Rhinos 34, Sheffield Eagles 16. Surprising news that Lee Jackson is... I was going to say Lee Jackson, I think would come back to that arm injury, I was wrong. It's Michael Jackson's back on the field. His 10 minutes in the sin bin for the professional foul has ended, so the Eagles are back to 12. They've still got one in the bin. Leeds have got one in the bin as well. So Bryce Ogie and Francis Cummings have still got a few minutes to go. It's Leeds in possession. Yeah, Lee Jackson, of course, sustained that bad arm injury in the build-up to the final try of the first half from Ryan Sheridan. It'll be interesting to see how long he's out for. He's a crucial man in the Leeds side, and his partnership with Terry Newton in the hooking role certainly worked wonders for the Rhinos this year. Newton making an impact, Jackson wrapping up as Leeds go away again on the left. Pearson's across, and it's an excellent cover tackle. It's forced the error from Francis Cummings there. Brad Godden even. The Eagles have come away with the ball. That's Thorman. The error was from Matt Crowther. Stuart Cummings says it went backwards. Chris Thorman it is who's picked it up again. Even he was a little surprised by that decision. And Michael Jackson here as he takes the ball up. The man who's back on after 10 minutes in the bin. Jamie Matthew gives him a bit of rough treatment in the tackle. Jackson not too chuffed with that. That's Rob Doyle, and he's well wrapped up by Marvin Golden. Attendance tonight just over 12,000, 12,607 to be precise. Not a bad turnout for a team coming to Headingley with just one of the last 6. Not an attractive prospect for the Rhinos faithful. It turned out in pretty good numbers, and the south stand beneath is certainly quite full tonight. A bit sparse on the terraces, but very full underneath the commentary gantry here, high in the roof of the south stand. 5 minutes to play, and the scrum will go down on the Leeds 20. And it's Leeds to feed the scrum.
Yeah, again, you've got to credit Sheffield. They managed to hold out while Jackson was off. Only that one try just as he was coming back on, but now Leeds will be looking to finish with a flourish and reward that great crowd of 12,500 with something to remember, because to be honest there hasn't been a lot for them to cheer tonight.
Complaints from the north stand for a bit of rough treatment from I think Chris Thorman in the tackle there, just right on the touchline in front of the big crowd in the main stand. Stuart Cummings is unperturbed, and Leeds are still in possession. They didn't get a penalty, but they probably won't need it because Marvin Golden's away down the right hand side. He's found Sterling, he's back in field, he in turn finds Powell. This is Carl Pratt, just gone a minute ago, and here's Justin Harris. Brad Godden's away, he's beaten Martin Pearson, and he's heading for the posts. An excellent team try, Phil.
Yeah, great run again. Godden threatened it about 5 minutes before, and Leeds have made a change. Carl Pratt come on for Ryan Sheridan. He was involved in the move, but again, it's just numbers. One missed tackle, and late on, Leeds have shown they've destroyed teams, and I think with what's 4 or 5 minutes to go, they're going to exploit the weaknesses out there for Sheffield. They're going to make sure that they finish the job professionally. At the end of the day, Graham Murray will see the result in the papers. He'll see another win for Leeds at home. He'll see a relatively wide margin between the teams, but it won't tell the whole story. You see a relatively wide margin between the teams, but it won't tell the whole story. You've got to credit Sheffield's effort tonight.
The Eagles had a magnificent first half, but the tired legs played a role in the second half. Ronnie the Rhino doing his traditional flips in front of the faithful on the east terrace down there, because Leeds have just gone another 6 points ahead. Justin Harris putting the goal over again, takes the score to Rhinos 14, Eagles 16 with 3 minutes to play, and the Leeds caretaker coach Damon McGrath will be happy with his side's second half. And with next week's trip to Hull, always a tough one for Leeds. They never get a good reception from the Sharks supporters at the Boulevard. he'll be quite pleased with the grit and the defiance that the Rhinos have shown in the second period. And the Eagles failed to gain their kick-off for the first time in a while. Senior again made the leap, but Adrian Morley's aware of the challenge, came up with the ball, and this is Marvin Golden driving straight into Senior, who's took a bit of a knock. Here's Carl Pratt, just on the field. He turns the ball to Matthew. Matthew tried to get it back to Newton. He took a deflection off Newton's shoulder, and Stuart Cummings is calling for a scrum. I think he's going to say it's gone forward from both teams, so there'll be no advantage. Well, he's given it to Leeds, still rightly judging that the hand in the tackle there was from Sheffield. Certainly ricocheted off Newton as well, but the initial forward motion came off the Sheffield hand. So the Rhinos will feed the scrum. Harris will be to feed it. He's in at scrum half with Pratt on the field. Powell's still out of standoff, and it's him who's released the pass to, I think, Sinfield. Godden has taken it. Sinfield again with the 1-2. Carl Pratt will be in at dummy half. Pratt looking as if he's playing some sort of a centre role. Of course, Leeds only packing with 5 because we've got 12 on. I think the man who's gone off is Ryan Sheridan. Barry McDermott took the tackle there, slow in getting up, and the Eagles defence are quick in moving up. But there's gaps appearing all over the place. Harris is looking for them. Golden's looking for one as well, but Senior's across. He's assisted by Michael Jackson and by Matt Crowther, and they've got him down. It's a slow playing the ball. That's what the Eagles want at this stage. They must be tired by now. But this is Harris. Powell misses out Pratt and McDermott and finds Sinfield instead. But again, the ball's gone to ground. Stuart Cummings is calling for knock-on. It's just a metre short. And the two wingers, Cummings and Soji, have rejoined the field after their 10 minutes in the sin bin. They'll only have about a minute of action to enjoy. And Leeds have got the 2 points wrapped up now, Phil.
I think a lot of people came here expecting that Leeds would win easily. We saw, as we said at the start of the broadcast, that the academy result showed us that Sheffield have a lot of fight and spirit. They've carried that over into the first team. They've performed extremely creditably, but all you can do is beat the opposition that's put in front of you. Maybe Mr. Cummins was a bit lenient with the laying on early on, but at the end of the day, the final score in the papers tomorrow will be Leeds 14, Leeds 40, Sheffield 14.
So yeah, the final score from Headingley. Leeds the winners by a comfortable, in the end, 24-point margin, but it didn't look like he was going to be that many in the first half. The game turner was Ryan Sheridan's try on 39 minutes. The Rhinos touchdown again 3 minutes after the break, and the second half performance from the Rhinos has been pretty good, and that's what's brought them this victory by 24 points. The Eagles, backing up from the defeat by Gateshead on Tuesday, will be pleased by the performance, but in the end, a moral victory isn't the 2 points, and it's the Lioners who've won. And with a trip to Hull coming up, Daniel McGraw will be happy with that result.